So microwaves are electromagnetic waves. So whose frequency range is 1 gigahertz to 1000 gigahertz. And the wavelength is 10 power 9 to 10 power 15. So already we discussed about the advantage of microwaves, the large bandwidth. So the dimensions of the antenna gets minimized because of microwaves. So we can use in the satellite communication. So and also using the further long distance communication, and compared to other frequencies, so microwave frequency signal having the less fading losses. So then disadvantage also is so higher radiation losses, transit time effect, and as the wavelength is smaller, so the attenuation is larger. So then coming to the applications of microwaves, so already we discussed. So telecommunication, so wherever the wireless communication, most of the cases, so we're using this microwaves. So in telecommunication, so we're using the satellite communication, so mobile communication, wireless communication, telemetry links. So in radars also we're using these microwave signals. So that means already I told. So wherever the frequency range is in between, so 1 gigahertz to 1000 gigahertz. So that is the application of our microwave signals. So now here, so in radars, we can use all types of radars: surveillance, tracking radars, weather radars, so terrain mapping radars, ATC radars, police radars, sports radars, and motion radars. So then we have the commercial and industrial applications. We can use in the known one, the microwave oven. We are using the microwave oven. So drying machines, rubber and textile, plastic industries. So non-detective testing, so sterilization of the instruments. So collision avoidance system, we are using the sensors also, the proximity sensors. So medical applications, we are using the physiotherapy and cancer treatments. These are the applications. Already we discussed this in the last class. So then some other applications we have in the DTH, we are using DTH. So personal communication systems, wireless local area networks, global position systems. So we are using in the microwave. These are the applications of microwaves. So then coming to the microwave frequency bands. So microwave frequency band, already I told. So the microwave frequency range is 1 gigahertz to 1000 gigahertz. So generally we are preferring for 1 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz, 1 to 300. So that we are extending up to 1000 gigahertz. So we are coming to 1 to 300 gigahertz. Now see here different bands of signals: L band, so 1 to 2 gigahertz, S band 2 to 4, C band 4 to 8. So these are the band we are using in satellite communication. So X band is 8 to 12 gigahertz. So where you are using in our laboratory. So our laboratory, in micro engineering laboratory, so we're using the X band. So the frequency range is 8 to 12 gigahertz. So like that we have different bands. So KU band, K band, KA band, so Q band, U band, V band, so E band, W band, F band, D band. So these are the microwave frequency bands. So generally they will ask a question. So what is the which band you are using in your microwave laboratory? Which band you are using in the microwave laboratory? That is the X band. So X band, that is the 8 to 12 gigahertz. So already I told. So what are the readings you are going to get? So in your laboratory, there should be in between 8 to 12 gigahertz. Otherwise, your readings are maybe wrong. So like this, these are the different bands. So in our microwave frequency range. So then coming to the microwave transmission lines. Already I told at the beginning also. So microwave transmission lines, there is in the three different types of transmission lines to send the microwave signal from one place to another place. So here mainly three things we are using. So coaxial cables, so waveguides, so microwave strip lines. Strip lines are microwave strip lines. Now we see one by one in detail. So what is the coaxial cable? How the coaxial cable will transmit the microwave signal from one end to another end, right? So these are the three different types of transmission lines. So they may ask question like this: what are the different types of microwave transmission lines? Maybe 2 marks question. Mark, put as a star mark for this. And sometimes they may ask in detail, explain about coaxial cable. Explain about waveguides. Anyhow, waveguides are very important. So they are going to derive some equations also, but we will see in the next class. So these are the micro strip lines, right? So are you clear? You are following or not? Are you following or not? 470.
Yes.
470. M7.
Yes, sir.
Oh, right. So what are different types of transmission lines? What are different types of micro transmission lines?
Coaxial cable wave.
Then
Sorry, sir.
What are different types of micro transmission lines?
Coaxial cable, waveguides, and strip lines and microstrip lines.
Waveguides and strip lines and microstrip lines. Now N7.
Yes, sir.
You tell me what is the frequency band we are using in our laboratory?
X band, sir. 8 to
X-band.
12.
Very good, very good. Right. So now coming to the coaxial cables. So coaxial cables already you saw in our day-to-day life also. So coaxial cable contains these four things. They have this center conductor, insulating dielectric, outer conductor, outer protection jacket or sheet. So now I will see this one. Now see. So this is the coaxial cable. Now see here. There is a inner conductor. This is made of the copper. There is a dielectric material, and there is a outer conductor. So this is also metal sheet only. So this is the metal, inner conductor is metal, outer conductor also metal. This is the cross section you can see here. So four layers are there. So one is the inner conductor. So after that you have the dielectric insulator. So then we have the metal sheet, that is also outer conductor. So to protect the outer conductor, you have the plastic jacket, this some insulating material only, maybe plastic we are using there. Now this is the cross section of your this one. Okay, so you do one thing, you please note down first this one. So transmission lines at microwave frequencies. Please note down. So transmission lines in the at microwave frequencies. So there are generally three types of transmission lines used at microwave frequency. Please note down. So coaxial cables, waveguides, strip lines, and micro strip lines. Right? So then, one by one you can see coaxial cables. So coaxial cable is normally seen as a thick electrical cable. The main elements within a coaxial cables are, please note down this: center conductor, insulating dielectric, outer conductor, protection sheet, outer protecting jacket or sheet. So these are the four elements you have in the coaxial cable. Please note down this also. So center conductor, insulating dielectric, outer conductor, so outer protecting jacket or sheet. So now, these are the cross section of the coaxial cable. Now this is the coaxial cable. So now see here, there is a inner conductor, or can say core or central conductor, like that. So then we have the dielectric insulator around this inner conductor. Then we have the outer conductor, and there is a protection sheet. So then what is the role of each one? We will see one by one. So inner conductor is made up of the copper, is a metal. Generally using the copper, inner conductor and outer conductor both. These two are the conductors. Conductor means we are using the metal. So inner conductor and outer conductor, made up of the metal. So where these two are things is the carrying the current. So inner conductor and outer conductor is carrying the current. And there is the electric material or insulated in between of the inner conductor and outer conductor. So maintain the isolation between inner conductor and outer conductor. We are using the dielectric material. So there we can use as a foam or some type of plastic like things. We are using the dielectric material. So to maintain isolation between inner conductor and outer conductor. So there is a outer protective sheet. So to protect the maybe any radiation from the other signals, or you can from the radiation from the earth also. So to protect that, we can use the outer conductor. Okay. So now see how it will work means. Now see what is the of each one. So this inner conductor will carry the current, and outer conductor also carrying the current. So the current direction in both the inner current and outer current are, both are in opposite to each other. Both are in opposite direction. Opposite direction, that means the electric fields. So the electric field is confined between inner conductor and outer conductor. The electric field lines are confined between inner conductor and outer conductor. That means the coaxial cable will not radiate any signal. It will not radiate. It's not just like it's not an antenna. It's just like a transmission line. So here that transmission line have the two conductors. So these conductors are made up with the metal. So each conductor carrying a current. Both are carrying a current, but the current directions are opposite to each other. The current directions in the these two conductors are opposite to each other. And what is the electric field existing in the coaxial cable? That is confined between the inner conductor and outer conductor only. So then the signal is traveling to the our coaxial cable. So there is no radiation will takes place in the coaxial cable. There is no radiation takes place in the coaxial cable. Please remember this one. Okay, so the two conductors, so inner conductor and outer conductor. So in between that, there is an insulating material to provide the isolation between these two conductors. So now these two conductors are carrying the current. These two conductors are carrying the current. So that current direction is opposite to each other. The current directions are the opposite to each other. That means, so what are the electric field producing or existing in the coaxial cable? That is confined between these two conductors only. That is confined between these two conductors only. That means there is no radiation takes place in the coaxial cable. So no radiation takes place in the coaxial cable. It's very simple. Now see here. So center conductor. The center conductor of the coaxial cable is universally made up of copper. Sometimes it may be a single conductor, or it may consist of several strands. May consist of several strands. You can see in our other cables like our maybe net cable or something. There may be strands. Our telephone cable. There is a several strands in the inner conductor. So then insulating dielectric. So between the two conductors of the coaxial cable, there is an insulating dielectric we are using. So in general, we are using the foam like material we are using there. Then outer conductor, the outer conductor of the RF cable is normally made up of the copper only. Then outer protected jacket or sheet. So there is a final cover or outer sheet to coaxial cable to protect from the environment, or to protect from the radiation from the other sources in the earth. Okay, so that is the coaxial cable. Now how it will work means, in the two conductors, the current will pass through these two conductors, but the current direction is opposite to each other. The current direction is opposite to each other. So due to that, what the electric field is existing in the coaxial cable, that is confined between inner conductor and outer conductor. Confined between inner conductor and outer conductor. Then the wave is traveling through the coaxial cable. That is the field lines. So that means there is no radiation will takes place, or no radiation will existing in the coaxial cable. That we have to remember. Okay. So this is the operation of the coaxial cable. Coaxial cable consists of 4 elements. So center conductor, insulating dielectric, outer conductor, protection sheet. So center conductor, it's made up of the copper, or sometimes maybe single conductor, or it may consist of the several strands, and it will carry the current. So insulating dielectric, it is in between the center conductor and the outer conductor. So to protect the or to provide the isolation between these two conductors. So outer conductor is also carrying the current. Okay, so then protected jack, it is the cover of the outer conductor. It will protect from the environment or any radiation from the outer signal. So now how it will works? How it will works means, the current will pass through both the inner conductor and outer conductor, but the current directions in both the is opposite to each other. Okay, so wherever the current, there is electric field. So electric field will existing. Now the electric field is confined between this inner conductor and outer conductor. The electric field is confined between this inner conductor and outer conductor. So now, the wave is traveled through the coaxial cable. There is no radiation will takes place in the coaxial cable. Right? So it will. So the electric field is confined between inner conductor and outer conductor. So that's all. This is the operation of the coaxial cable. So now what is the disadvantage? What is the losses in the coaxial cable? Now see what are the material existing in the coaxial cable. We have only two types of materials are there. Conductors are there and dielectric material is there. So because of conductor, so we can say there is a resistive loss. There may be a resistive loss. Where is the conductor? There is a problem with the resistance. There is a resistive loss. So I have the dielectric material, there may be a dielectric losses. So but any device, there may be a radiation problem. So each one, so here also there may be very small radiation will existing. There is a radiation problem also there. So but in our coaxial cable, so radiation losses are very less, maybe not maybe negligible. You can say it's a negligible. Why? Because there is no radiation takes place. So very less radiation, that also we can avoid by using the proper protection sheets. Proper protection sheets. Okay, so these are the losses in the coaxial cable: resistive losses, dielectric losses, radiated losses. So now see why these losses only means. So what are the material we are having in the coaxial cable? We have only conductors and dielectric material. So due to conductors, there may be resistive loss. There may be a resistive loss. So dielectric, material is there. There may be a dielectric loss, and radiation losses are there in any device. It is existing in all the devices. So in our case, already I told. So the electric field is confined between only inner conductor and outer conductor. So there may be there is no scope for the radiation losses. So we can say the radiation losses are very minimal in the our coaxial cables, may be negligible. So see here, the radiation losses in generally the least importance. So only a very small amount of power is generally radiated from the cable. Why? Because we have protection shields also there. There is a proper protection shield is there on the outer surface of the coaxial cable. So the radiation losses may be very less. Okay. So now see the radiation and what about this attenuation? So maybe this radiation losses. So there may be it depends upon the frequency also. There is one more disadvantage here means, so coaxial cable you can use only for the low frequencies. So by increasing the frequency, this losses also increase. Loss means, so there is a attenuation in the signal. There may be loss in the signal. So we can suppose you can use a 10 dB power at the input end, at output end you get more maybe 6 dB, 4 dB, 5 dB like that. There may be attenuation in the coaxial cable. This attenuation depends upon the frequency. So it's inversely proportional to the frequency. If more frequency, attenuation also increases. More attenuation will occur in the coaxial cable. That's why generally we are using the coaxial cable for the less frequency ranges. There is the microwave frequency range only, but the less frequency ranges only we are using in our coaxial cable. This is the coaxial cable attenuation versus frequency in megahertz. Okay. So these are the coaxial cables, this radiation loss, resistive losses and dielectric losses. Then how we can avoid this resistive loss means, so we can use the more conductors in the inner conductor or broader conductors in the outer conductor like that. That means resistive loss means, so there may be resistance existing in any conductor that we can use means avoid means by using the more conductors, more width type of conductors we can use to avoid this dielectric resistive loss. So dielectric losses means we can use the perfect dielectric material to avoid the dielectric losses. So maybe they may ask me one more question. What are the losses in the coaxial cable? You please put a star mark for this. So these are your questions at the end. Okay. So losses, what are the losses in the coaxial cable? We can say, so the losses in the coaxial cable are, see why the losses means, it depends upon the material which are using in the coaxial cable. In our coaxial cable, we are using the material. We are using conductors and dielectric. We are using conductors and dielectric only. That means, so the conductor means, so there may be a resistive loss. In the conductor, there may be a resistive loss. So it depends upon the pure conductor means, if infinity conductivity, so resistive loss is very less. Sometimes there may be a resistance existing in the conductors also. In the case, there may be resistive losses. And dielectric material are using in our cable, there may be a dielectric loss. Okay, so radiation loss is in general. So in any micro things or any electromagnetic wave, transmission. So so there may be radiation losses are there, but in our coaxial cable, so radiation losses are very minimal. Radiation losses are very minimal. Why? Because the electric field lines are confined between inner conductor and outer conductor, and also there is a protection shield at the outer layer of the coaxial cable. So protect the cable from the environment or from the earth radiation things. Right? So are you clear up to this? Anyone please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, so it's one of the question. What are the different types of transmission lines? We are going very slowly. Don't worry. So then, so understanding very important. Please follow the things. So 3 types of transmission lines we are using in the our microwave transmission lines. So coaxial cable, waveguides, microstrip lines. Now the coaxial cable. So coaxial cable consists of 4 elements. So the structure is like that. There is an inner conductor, protects the insulating material around the inner conductor, the outer conductor. So around the outer conductor we have the protection sheet. Okay. So these 2 inner conductor, outer conductors are the conductors only. These are made of with the copper. The inner conductor may be single conductor, or maybe it may have the several threads in the inner conductor. Okay. So now the inner conductor and outer conductors are carrying the currents. Okay. So the insulating material, so which is in between the inner and outer conductor, it's just like a isolation, maintain isolation between inner conductor and outer conductor. So the current will flowing through inner conductor and outer conductor, but the current directions are opposite to each other. So the electric field is confined between the inner conductor and outer conductor. Confined between inner conductor and outer conductor. So there is no radiation will take place in the coaxial cables. Now coming to the losses in the coaxial cable. So losses depends upon the material which are using in the coaxial cable. So we are using the 2 types of materials there. So the conductors and the dielectric materials. So due to conductors, you may have the resistive losses. So due to dielectric, you may have the dielectric losses, and radiation losses will existing in all the devices which are using for our microwave or our electromagnetic waves, which are allow the electromagnetic waves. So, but in the case of our coaxial cable, the radiation losses is very minimal. We may neglect these radiation losses. So resistive losses, so depend upon the conductivity of the material. Okay, so we can use the more conductivity material. We can avoid the resistive losses effect. So dielectric also, by the perfect dielectric material, so we can avoid the dielectric losses. So these are the things. So now this also the attenuation is depends upon the frequency. Both are directly proportional to each other. So the coaxial cable attenuation dB per attenuation you can generally measure with the dB per meter. So it means attenuation. It means the power per length you can use like that. The power per length is the coaxial cable, maybe 10-meter cable or 200-meter cable. So this attenuation you can measure. So power in a particular place, power by length. Power by length. That's why the units for the attenuation in coaxial cable is power you can measure in the dB. So dB per meter. dB per meter. So now you can see the attenuation versus frequency. So say both the direction proportional. Now see, so at low frequencies attenuation is very less. So by increasing the frequency, the attenuation also increased. So you have to remember this. Now see, these are the one type of transmission line. So now another type of transmission line is waveguide. So waveguide, we have the 2 types of waveguides we are using here. So rectangular waveguide and circular waveguide. Rectangular waveguide and circular waveguide. So waveguides are the one of the transmission of the microwave signal. So now where they have the halo tube, there is a conductor. So now see here. So here this is a halo. There is a open place, open space here. So this outer the made of with the conductors. Maybe copper we are using. So outer this one rectangular or circular. So their inner there is a halo. There is a halo and there is a metal tube here. So based on the shape, so we can say it is a rectangular waveguide and circular waveguide. So these 2 we are using in our for microwave transmission lines. Now see here. So in this rectangular waveguide, now see. So there is a length, width, height, and length. This is the length. So this is the width, This is the height. So width is in x direction, height is in the y direction, and z direction. So there is a length. There is a length. So generally, the wave is propagated. The wave is propagated or transmitting throughout the z direction. Towards the z direction. So like this. So wave is propagated towards the z direction. So the wave is traveled. So along the surface of the along the walls. You can say walls of the transmission line. Walls of the waveguide. The walls of the waveguide. Clear? So there is a halo type. There is a space. So in the waveguide. So this is the width of the waveguide. This is the height of the waveguide. This is the length of the waveguide. You can say coordinate system. So Z is towards the length. So x-axis. This is the y-axis. Please remember. Please do carefully. So based on this, we are going to do some wave equations and some electric field. And already I told you may calculate the field components in the all the directions. That means electric field components in all the directions means Ex, Ey, Ez. So magnetic field components means so Hx, Hy, Hz. Okay, we're going to calculate. So now see, so there is a halo, there is a space. So this is the walls made up with the conductor only. The copper here is generally. So there is a see here z direction towards the length, x-axis, width. So there is a width is a. You can take the width is a, small a. Height you can say small b. This is general we are using standard things in this rectangular waveguide. So the wave is propagated along the z-axis. Propagation means it will travel along the z-axis. The wave is traveled along the z-axis. So the field components will existing in the x and y directions. So now this is the a, width, height is b. Okay. Now circular waveguide. Now see here there is a halo here also. The radius is a. The radius is a. Okay. So are you clear? This one. This is the construction. So by construction, it is a hollow metal tube. Inner walls of waveguides are coated with the gold or silver for smooth finishing. So now already I told. So these waveguides acts as a high pass filter. High pass filter, what is the high pass filter? It allows the frequencies only above the cutoff frequency. That means the waveguides will not allow all the frequencies. It allows only the frequencies. So more than the cutoff frequency. More than the cutoff frequency of the waveguide. So each waveguide having some cutoff frequency that we're going to calculate by using some formula. That is FC. FC is equal to some that depends upon the M and A values. So each waveguide having some cutoff frequency. So if you want to transmit any signal to the waveguide, that the signal frequency should be more than the cutoff frequency of the waveguide. Then only it will travel. Okay. So in generally the cutoff frequency may be 1 gigahertz or 2 or 3 gigahertz. Okay. So that's why. So it acts as a high pass filter. It acts as a high pass filter. So used for frequencies above 1 gigahertz only. So the cross-sectional dimensions of the waveguide decrease with the increasing in the cutoff frequency value. That also we'll see in the by seeing the formula we can come to know. So how that will both are related. How? So the dimension and cutoff frequency both are interlinked. That we'll see at the time of. So we can see the derivation part. So rectangular circular waveguides are popular. So here very important thing. So wave the mode of operation it will exist only. So TE or TM. It allowed only TE or TM. So TEM mode will not existing in the waveguide. That also we are deriving the expression. We can prove why it's not existing in the waveguide. It's very, very important. There are the three types of so TE transverse electric mode, so transverse magnetic mode, so transverse electromagnetic mode. So it will exist here only to allow only the so TE or TM. But coaxial cable, so we can use for the TEM there. But in waveguides, only TE or TM will exist. It allow only so TE or TM modes. So TEM mode not existing in the waveguides. But underline this point. The TEM mode it not existing in the so waveguides. Very, very important. So these are the properties of the waveguides. So TEM mode does not existing in the waveguides. So mode of propagation is either only TE or TM. TE transverse electric mode or transverse